Well, it is Wednesday, so it's time to read some comic books, but just going to concentrate on an old issue of World's Finest. World's Finest has become quite the focus for me because the current World's Finest is the best mainstream superhero title at the moment. Well, let's hope it can continue, but this World's Finest is the one I remembered when I was a kid. Which was very difficult to get a hold of because I was broke. And boy, a whole $1 for a comic book. Yeah, that was, oh, geez, that's only rich kids can have that. Plus, I mean, it was a big, thick comic book with a lot of stuff in it. I think the move to make it this big, thick $1 comic was part of the DC explosion, where they printed an awful lot of comics, made a bunch of different titles to garner excitement and all of that. And but there just weren't enough readers buying it, so they eventually cut them all and slashed them down. But even so, the numbers they were gaining at the time, they would kill for today. So it's kind of like, oh, it was the great DC implosion. Where they had to slash a bunch of titles and go back to a more streamlined amount. But that it's pales in comparison to the disaster the industry is today, so at least for the mainstream titles in the superhero genre. So World's Finest had always been a Superman-Batman team-up book, and then under this version had a lot of backup stories for characters that, for the most part, couldn't hang on to their own titles for very long. Probably out of this group, Green Arrow was the more successful. Hawkman, they've tried several times. They're going to try again. Recently, I heard for Hawk Girl, which will be, her second or third title. Good luck. Aquaman, of course, probably has done a lot better. Maybe he's done better than even Green Arrow. And for a while, Green Arrow was teamed up with Green Lantern, kind of doing their take on the Superman-Batman team, which, is appropriate. And poor Shazam, better known as Captain Marvel, at least he was, the original. Why can't they just call him Captain Thunder or something like that? It's I can understand the Shazam being the title of whatever book he's in, because it's a well-known word. And it's his magic word, but it's the name of the wizard who gave him the powers. It's not his name. It's just stupid. But, what are you going to do? But anyway, always struggled, even though he was the most popular superhero character at one time. But he got sued out of existence by DC because of Superman. Even though they didn't really win the lawsuit, but Fawcett Publications couldn't afford it, and so on and so forth. So a backup feature is where he was. Well, mostly the Shazam family is kind of, but he's the lead and all that. So that's what they did. 6 superhero sensations. So, the main story is Superman and Batman taking on Clayface, who's merged with Kryptonite Mud, I guess. So that's the deal, and poor Lois is brought into this. But the interesting thing is there's kind of some transgender elements. So Clayface uses this puddle to get his power, so I'd better prepare, shed the appearance of an Arctic explorer, and assume that of a hot and sexy blonde, a person who might be involved with a hero. When the Lane woman arrives, I'll have a surprise for her. I wonder how she'll feel being used as a tool against my enemy, the Batman. But why Lois? Well, at that moment, in a dank alleyway in Gotham City. Hey, why are you guys looking at me that way? You're my pals, ain't you? Sure, but business is business. Clayface has put out a contract on you. Bick. It's a B. Well, why? He said you've been working your mouth too much. It's probably the only work he's ever done. The Batman! Get him, guys! So, Clayface's gang is up to no good. This gives Batman a lead that Clayface is up to no good, and there you go. Meanwhile, Superman is remodeling his Fortress of Solitude, priorities, after it got ruined in a previous issue where that was the Super Sons issue, which I believe I talked about. Yeah, I did. And so, he had to fix up the furniture and stuff because they made a mess. Anyway, I'd better get back to Metropolis. As Clark Kent, I have to cover a meeting of the Overseas Press Association tonight. So meanwhile, Lois. Oh no. However, he is destined to miss that meeting for, yes, Lois. You heard me. Unless I see Superman within the hour, Lois Lane buys a bullet. Don't listen to him. Thank you, Miss. Oh, she misgendered Clayface. Lois, for shame. Well, yeah, her face is falling off. It's embarrassing when your makeup does that. So, thank you, Miss Lane. So that confirms that, yeah, it really does have Miss Lane as a hostage. Lois, you fell for that one, didn't you? Anyway, you proved to them that I have you. Proved it nicely. Why do you hate Superman? No, I don't. Not a bit. And at the Daily Planet. You heard, Mr. Edge? Yes. I suppose we have no choice. We'll have to contact Superman. Don't bother, because Superman's already there. Look at his stylish. This is in the days when Morgan Edge did a hostile takeover and made the Daily Planet part of Galaxy Broadcasting or whatever. Because newspapers was old hat. Even way back then, I don't even know why we have them anymore, But Clark Kent had to become a TV news anchor and all that. Yeah, that was something. So anyway, Superman gets the lowdown and whatnot. Oh no, Lois! And so, as you can see, Clayface has detransitioned back to a man. By the way, the cave is lead lined. Superman should not be able to try any tricks with heat vision or the like. Time's up. Goodbye, Ms. Lane. Don't shoot. I'm here. Oh, step a bit closer. You might be interested to know that by bathing in the chemicals in the pool, I can will myself into anything, including kryptonite. Pum, pum, pum. No, get away. Not just yet. So, that's a neat trick, So, oh no, Superman's passed out. But then, Batman! What have you got against him and Miss Lane? I thought you would not permit Superman to suffer. What have you got against Superman and Miss Lane? Nothing. They were merely a means to the end of capturing you. Yeah, but what if Batman had been busy with something else, Maybe you should have kidnapped, Vicky Vale, because then that's like one of Batman's girlfriends. So, but then I guess no one really knows that. Damn. But everyone knows Lois Lane's Superman's girlfriend. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you thought this through, Clayface, but look, it worked, so. I happened to be in the hospital having a bullet wound tended when I saw a way to lure Lois Lane into my grasp. Through her, Superman, and through him, you. Because I know Lois loves Superman, but you love Superman too. I mean, how else does this work, Anyway, you'll free them after you're done with me. I'm afraid not. They might seek revenge, and I would not like that. Enough talk. Your moment has come. Blam, 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 blam. Oh, man, that's going to hurt. Ooh. And down goes Batman. Well, that's it. Superman and Batman are dead. It's over. Oh, wait, what? Oh. The last bullet is for you, Miss Lane. Eh? You're unconscious. Nearly dead. You must be. That's your final mistake tonight. An instant of sheer panic as Clayface whirls and a gasp. The Batman, you're not dead either. Oh, gross. Snot's coming out of his nose. Ew. Not even slightly. As a matter of fact, he's not the Batman. I am. Ooh, you pulled a switch. See, they can play at disguise too, Clayface. So they just swapped costumes, and so kryptonite won't hurt Superman. Exactly, your oldest trick. Yeah. First seen way back in World's Finest 71. Well, I think they've done this before. Yeah, they made a reference of it, that they swapped outfits to pull this trick before. And poor Clayface, he didn't read World's Finest back then, so he didn't know. Anyway, let's see who's talking. Is it Batman, I guess? We weren't sure of the predicament you had mislaid in, so we couldn't possibly bust in. I suggested we try a delaying tactic to put you off your guard. Well, yeah, it worked out and everything, but there's no way you would have known that he had kryptonite. But I guess it's a reasonable guess. I mean, why would someone like Clayface want to mess with Superman unless he had some kryptonite? I guess he could no longer turn back into kryptonite. He had to dive into that pool again. But they got to him fast enough, so he couldn't. Oh, well, meanwhile, the other transgender story is this one with Green Arrow. So, the click of dice, the whir of whales, the rustle of money on soft felt, and in the eyes of the well-to-do crowd, the glitter of greed as we peer into Star City's first legitimate gambling den, the Blue Chip Casino. Hello, fuckers. Welcome to the Blue Chip. Bet, get to hell. Play the line, the dandelion. The sky's the limit. We're all having fun, right? Right on, Lola. Yeah. As the casino's brash brunette boss spots a tall brunette. No. Anyway, spots a tall figure. Oliver Queen, you're here after you opposed legit gambling in that crummy column of yours. Hey, I didn't oppose it, Miss Fontana. I simply had doubts. It could be run without mob influence and corruption. So the title for this episode is Any Number Can Lose. But it's, usually 13. But anyway, of course, it is a corrupt operation. Green Arrow figures it out, and so by the end, I skipped a lot of stuff, of course. Anyway, you costume clown, I'll kill you. Stay back, Lola. I never shoot at a lady, but I'll make an exception for a man. Oh, Green Arrow misgendered Lola. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, jeez. Just, oh my goodness, that's assault, Green Arrow. Just ripping her clothes off. And that man is none other than Tony Roller. Oh, dead naming. Oh, boy. Boy, this is shocking. My heavens, it is him, but he's dead, no? Well, see, Tony faked his death and then apparently had a drag queen act of some sort. And so went in disguise as Lola, Meanwhile, all these guys had the hots for Lola, and they're all like, ooh. So anyway, the following day, Roller faked his demise and posed as Lola Fontana so he could legally own the Blue Chip. Yeah, and besides the rigged tables as a known mobster, he's facing plenty of prison time for his masquerade. My pal Green Arrow... I mean, people make Clark Kent jokes, but come on. He's even wearing green. My pal, Green Arrow, found out Roller was a female impersonator in cheap clubs long ago. His mistake was in choosing that old act as his new idea. It's all in the column. See you around the presses, Georgie. So then George Taylor, for the Daily Star, which, yes, was the original boss of Superman and Lois Lane, who worked at the Daily Star way back when in the golden age of Superman comics, and then suddenly they changed to the Daily Planet, and Perry White was suddenly the editor-in-chief. So, they just, since Oliver Queen writes a column for a newspaper, they just swapped that out for him, so he works at the Daily Star, and, of course, George Taylor once again. This is all explained through multiverse shenanigans, because back on Earth, too, George Taylor was still the editor until he croaked and Clark Kent grew old and took his job. Or maybe he retired, I don't know. Anyway, so, Queen's column is great copy, but my old newspaper man's nose tells me he's really Green Arrow. Your nose? What about your eyes? And someday I'm going to prove it. But that is another story. The end. Oh, look, he even casts the Green Arrow's shadow as he walks. I mean, oh, jeez. Could that be Oliver Queen? I don't know. Do you think so? It's like it'd be one thing if the mustache and goatee was fake and he just put that on for a part of his mask. Then it might work. But he's basically, his mask is no more than a pair of glasses. But again, Clark Kent, yeah, but at least he like kind of changes the part in his hair. You know, he doesn't do the curl. Green Arrow's got the... And originally Green Arrow didn't have a beard and goatee, you know, but they thought this made him more of a hip happening guy because he was, you know, going to be a socialist and all this stuff. Yeah, George, I don't think you're cut out for the news business. Well, maybe for today's standards of mainstream news, you know. Yeah, it's right in front of you, but you don't see it. Meanwhile, Hawkman, well, his wife, who is in reality Hawkgirl, got hit by a car. And so to blow off some steam, he decided to while she's convalescing in the hospital, decided to fly around, you know, and get some air. And then he runs into an alien Catman. And at first they have a fight, but then they touch each other. Yeah, and read each other's minds. And through reading about Hawkman's love for his wife, the alien understood love again. And turns out he's the last of his kind, as the rest of his people left the planet to go explore the universe. And they said, hey, once we find a new place, we'll come back and get you. But he's still there by himself. Still not getting a clue. So anyway, that all worked out, huh? So after the alien went back to his home, Hawkman goes back to the hospital to check on his wife. Temples pounding, heart racing, Carter Hall, who is in reality Hawkman, speeds to the hospital, to the Midway General City Hospital. Or what, you get it. You, doctor, say, Shaira Hall, how is she? Well, what do you care? Well, yeah, why? Just fine, Hawkman. Why are you so interested in her case? Hey, you think Miss Hall is cheating on her husband with Hawkman? Could be. Well, I'm a personal friend of the Halls, and I'm quite concerned. Well, I'm not supposed to give out the information only to family members, but what the hell, you're Hawkman, so we'll relax. With a few weeks of bed rest, Mrs. Hall will be as good as new. Hawkman? She's all right. Yeah, he flies like a free-spirited eagle until dawn. Well, he's a hawk, not an eagle. Anyway, and daylight finds two kindred spirits reunited in love. That's a fascinating story, beloved. But what world was it that this being teleported from? I tried tracking him with the hookup we used for Adam. Adam Strange. Yeah, they had a story from previous adventures of Adam Strange. They had to help him get back to the planet Rand because his seed of being thing wasn't working, whatever. Anyway, it wasn't a teleporter he was using. It was a time machine. A time machine? You mean? The world he came from was Earth. But was it Earth in the future or the past? Well, I learned much when our minds intertwined, but that, unfortunately, is still a mystery to me. Didn't you want to probe further? No, once I saw him in the cat box, I didn't want to see any more. Oh. So anyway, there he is back on his planet all by himself. It's all trash. It's a futuristic city. I don't know. Was this like Atlantis? Like that supposedly a great civilization existed before a great disaster, and then we went back to the Stone Age? That could be a possibility. Or it's the distant future, and we all turn into cat people, like Lion-O. So anyway, and somewhere, in some time, a solitary figure stands waiting. They're not coming back, buddy. They left you because, I don't know, they just didn't like you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Dr. Light saw a vision that the Justice League would kill him. So he decides to murder each member one by one. So he heads over to Aquaman, who's relocated to a city that ended up like Venice, so it's called New Venice. So their streets are canals, you know. That's perfect for him. So, how fortunate for me. I had planned to lure Aquaman here so that I could launch my attack. But he has come to New Venice of his own volition. This will allow me to keep my presence here a secret. Not dressed like that, it won't. Until I wanted known. His name is Dr. Light, and upon numerous occasions he has battled the members of the Justice League of America, only to be beaten at every turn. Now the King of the Seven Seas is his target, and very shortly Aquaman will be forced to ask, what light through underwater breaks? Well, I guess Dr. Light. Oh, I didn't even bother to visit the page. Oh, well, he has this light gun that he keeps shooting at Aquaman with, but Aquaman's able to take it over. Why? Because the light source of his gun is a glowing fish. Ta-da! What an idiot. You went after Aquaman with a fish. Man. So, Captain Marvel, Shazam, yeah, there they are. Hey, they got a movie coming up. You probably didn't hear about it. Yeah. Anyway.
At last we have gathered my compatriots, and this is our target, our common enemy, the being called Captain Marvel.
Don't you mean Shazam?
Shut up. This time we will crush him. Today, the Monster Society strikes back.
Yes, the dreaded Monster Society of Evil. Well, it's already called Monster Society, so do you really need it? Well, anyway. Has reformed, featuring Mr. Mind, you know, the worm, Savannah, you know, his bald mad scientist, Ibeck, this guy, yeah, King Cole, the Conan guy, and Mr. Adam, the robot, Black Adam, there he goes, with, you know, he's hadn't lost his hair yet, and Ogar, the world's mightiest immortal. And their goal is death to Captain Marvel. Don't you mean Shazam? Shut up. So, yeah, that's basically it. The problem here is that Shazam decides, he hears about a Black Adam trying to take over Egypt. This is in the days before they invented Kondak, so Black Adam was originally an Egyptian and wanted to rule that. So they decided to make up a mythological Middle Eastern country instead of using a real one. So there you go. So Shazam flies over, but he decides to be inconspicuous, so he turns back into Billy Batson and then runs into Ogar. But on the way there, he said he had to make arrangements for a secret weapon. I wonder what it could be. So anyway, there he is, Billy. He says, "You were the pupil of the old wizard 3,000 years ago, but you waited till you attained immortality." Well, good thinking. "Then rebelled against him." "Yes, Shazam expelled me from the fellowship of the great gods in here." "I didn't do that." "I mean the real Shazam. You're Captain Billy." "Shut up, goddammit. Anyway, the fellowship of the great gods and heroes. He even cursed me with cloven feet, which is why I wear a dress. Not because, you know, I'm non-binary or transitioning or anything. No, I just wear dresses because of my feet." "Okay, but I waited till he died. And now I can avenge myself by destroying you, his heir. Become mute. Oh man, I really didn't think this through. I should have shouted the magic word before. Yeah, it's too late. Ogar has made me unable to speak." Yep, that's that. So here comes Black Adam with the most obvious idea in the world, you know. "Excellent, Ogar. I saw it all. Now that he is helpless, let's kill him." "Not yet. Our revenge against Shazam will be sweeter if Billy is forced to watch helplessly as we conquer Egypt." "Yeah, but listen, man, Shazam's already dead, so who gives a crap? Let's kill the little brat." "And what are the other members of the so-called Marvel family?" "I have heard of them. Well, we will dispose of them all in time, but first, you know, I want to play with stuff." Ah, for the days when I killed the Pharaoh and took his throne, but my armies are now only dust.
Dust, eh? Yes, that gives me an idea.
So he's going to raise an army of dust bunnies. Giggle tee-hee. No, he resurrects the ancient army of Egypt to obey Black Adam. Out of sand. Yeah. So, Billy's like, oh, there's nothing I can do to stop them. No, because you just walked yourself right into this. And what if they had said, yeah, let's just kill him? That would be it for Captain Marvel. But perhaps my secret weapon can stop him. Yeah, he called his sister. But still, boy, I tell you, this plan was really stupid, Billy. It could have gone south pretty bad. I mean, Mary Marvel still could have shown up and dealt with it, but still. Anyway, and even as the mighty army approaches the seemingly doomed city of Cairo, stop, you fiends! It is Mary Marvel!
Ah, another of Shazam's accursed air. Let me handle her. Let magic lightning strike you down.
I don't see anything happening.
Oh, I forgot. My spells are powerless against women.
I don't know. Did Shazam just never got around to the part where the spells work on women? Because his spell obviously works on Mary because it turns her into Mary Marvel. So, or Shazam knew Ogar was a real disgusting, perverted creep, and said, if I give him power over women, the things he'd do. He should have stopped before there, Shazam. But I forgot my spells. My magic cannot harm them, but there may still be a way. Let magic lightning strike the place where she stands. Oh, you just gotta reword the spell. See, then it'll work, which is kind of the same thing. But then she says perfect. But why would she say that, or think it rather? Oh, because she uses her super speed, and Ogar intends to turn me into Mary Batson and make me as helpless as he did Billy. But if I'm fast enough, I can get Billy. Oh, but you got to grab Billy and let the magic lightning hit him. And then, oh, look what happens.
Blasted! How could this happen?
The girl, she used her speed to outrace the lightning. Yes, and now we'll have our showdown. Of course, couldn't you just call the magic lightning again? Yeah, probably could. But yeah, he didn't think of it fast enough. Don't try to gang up on my brother. Remember, I'm in this scrap too.
And so is the army I created. The odds are 50,000 to 2.
But of course, they're all just made of sand. So, do we need to go any further? No, we don't. They make mincemeat of the army. So then he finally figures out, oh, wait, I'll zap him with magic lightning. So he calls down magic lightning, but they throw Black Adam in the way of it and turns him into his normal self. Right when he's lifting up a pyramid to throw it at Captain Marvel, which would have killed him instantly, but I guess they had a few seconds to get him out of there. And then Ogar decides, oh, well, I don't know what else to do, so he magically teleports both him and Adam back to the headquarters of the Monster Society. So the Monster Society's plans will have to continue next issue. Oh, boy. You're on the edge of your seats. But it is interesting. We had two guys turn into women. Well, Clayface literally did. The other guy dressed up as a woman. And we end up with the villain in her dress. So it is of some interest here. So there you go. World's Finest from the olden days. Still, we'll get to The Flash. It's a lot of people giving it praise. I'm just sort of middle of the ground on it. We'll see how the 1 minute war ends. But that'll be it for the current writer. They're going to switch it over to someone else, which means it might go down the tubes. Who knows? Oh, yeah. And I got the latest Cyber Frog from Ethan Van Sciver, along with a Cyber Frog action figure, all kinds of goodies. And we'll be delving into that. And just by coincidence, Anna, that Star Wars girl, latest calendar arrived. Very lovely girl. This one, she portrays video game characters, which, granted, I'm not much of a video gaming guy. Quit that a long time ago, but I do like beautiful women, and she's a very lovely girl. So there you go. Might do a video on that or something, I don't know, but certainly the Cyber Frog will review that. So that's about it for this edition of Wednesday Comics. Well, check out Sunday Comics, of course, and all that stuff. But there you go, world's finest. And we'll come back next week with some new comic books. How about that? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.